What up, fam? Welcome back to 88-Bit Tech. I'm AJ, and today we're going to try and fix a faulty Ryzen 5 5600X that I got off Facebook Marketplace for $35 US. Shout out to Reese, real cool dude. We had a chat. He used to build and sell PCs as well, but he was getting rid of a bunch of stock he had left over. Meant to fix this one, but the issue with this one, it has a few slightly bent pins, which are going to be pretty easy fix for me, but the big thing is it's missing a pin. He did tell me that when he checked out the pin out that it was from an onboard audio potentially for the motherboard. I did check out the pin out as well and confirmed that it is some type of audio pin. He also gave me an AMD Athlon 2 and a Wi-Fi card for free. So now I have a donor pin to potentially fix the missing pin off of this guy here. So we'll straighten out the pins that are bent. We'll slap it into a motherboard and see if it's working. Just some slight ones there. We're using the power of a lead pencil to do this, by the way. It fits perfectly on these little guys, and I can use it to straighten it. So it still didn't fit into the sockets. We're gonna have to see what other pins are bent. Alright guys, so I managed to straighten all the bent pins. There actually turned out to be quite a lot. I fitted into the socket. However, in the process of trying to fit it into the socket and straighten these pins, I did end up breaking another pin, which is really unfortunate. You can see it right there. But the pencil method wasn't working that well, so I ended up having to pull out the utility knife here, and that actually did the trick to straightening out the remainder of the pins. But this one here was already, it was like already twisted and broken, so like when I tried to bend it back, it snapped off like that. So it wasn't my fault. It was already bent pretty substantially. Something dinged it and really damaged it. But now we have two missing pins. There's the one on the end there, which is apparently an audio pin, and this one from the pinout is VSS. So I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna go ahead and slap it into the motherboard and see if it posts. All right, pardon the mess, guys. I have multiple projects going on right now. So I've got a motherboard that I just bought as well that I am testing. Got the DisplayPort cable hooked up to this RX 550. We get a post, guys. Sweet! So it's working without the two pins. I am gonna try and fix the two pins, however, because I do want to have audio on the computer, but that's pretty sick. Have audio plugged in. However, we are not getting any audio off the motherboard here. And if we go into the sound settings, it's only showing the audio from the DP, from the display cable, but this monitor doesn't actually have audio. So that is the problem. However, there's a couple fixes. You can get a USB like 3.5 millimeter jack that should work in providing the audio through that method, or you go through your monitor. So if I switch this 3.5 millimeter jack and plug it into the monitor here, it should work because we're actually getting the audio from the PCI Express port from the display cable here. So the data is being transferred through there and it should work, but we'll give it a try. Okay, so the audio is now working. Yep, so that works, plugging it directly into the monitor, but definitely not through the motherboard here. So here we have this AMD Athlon 2, the DDR3 CPU. It has these pins, and I've actually melted one off with that solder gun. And I'm not going to solder it onto the faulty Ryzen 5 5600X that I got that's missing the audio pin. I'm just going to slot the pin itself, this guy, that I melted off onto the motherboard socket. So that way I can just put the CPU on top of it. It'll make contact. The AM3 pins are just a bit longer than the AM4 ones. It'll make contact in the socket with the pin, and hopefully we'll get audio. And then we'll have a fully functioning 5600X CPU. But I've pulled the CPU out, and you can see the missing audio pin right by my thumb there. So let's stick in the other one into the socket directly. I got it in there. Let's hope that it works. So I have this little Bluetooth speaker plugged in by a 3.5 millimeter jack. All right, here we go. Yo! Check it out. We fixed it. During the process of making this video, I stumbled upon another deal off the Facebook local marketplace. Someone else was selling a faulty Ryzen 5 5600 for 85 AUD or 57 US dollars. It is brand new, has an invoice. Apparently they're a new builder and they dropped it, and instead of trying to repair it, it was an easy fix. I tried to talk them through it instead of selling it, but they bought another CPU to put in there. So they sold it to me for $85, and so that's $35 for the Ryzen 5 5600X, and that's fully working now. And now I have a brand new Ryzen 5 with a Wraith Stealth cooler for 57 USD if I can fix it. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you guys a bit of a trick. You can actually drop this into a motherboard and then move the lever back and forth to straighten out the pins even more. And you can also find where it's not going in by seeing like kind of just where it kind of raises on the socket. So let's go ahead and do that. Bring him. Oh, we got it. We got it in. Yes. Okay, so now is the secret. Just put some pressure and do this a few times, lock it in, move it back. Here comes the moment of truth. We've got it plugged in the corner over there, hooked up to our portable display on our test bench. Got no signal. And we get a boot. Check it out, guys. We get a freaking boot. That's why to reset FTPM. We're gonna do that. Another CPU fixed. Basically a brand new Ryzen 5 5600. I've got the invoice for it. Straight into Windows. Look at that, guys. That's amazing. I can just do Control-Shift-Escape. And performance. There we go. Ryzen 5 5600. 6-core 12-thread, working perfectly. So that was a real quick video for you guys. So yet again, saved a bunch of money getting a faulty CPU off the Facebook Marketplace. Had a few bent pins, took a little bit of work, but not more than 30 minutes of me trying to get it back into the socket. And it is running perfectly. It's still under warranty as well. So the key takeaway is don't be afraid to buy a faulty CPU off of the local used market because the savings are pretty incredible. Typically, Ryzen 5 5600X in Sydney, Australia, used sell for around 92 US dollars. I picked up the faulty one for $34.48. That is a 62% discount than what it usually sells for. For the Ryzen 5 5600X, those usually sell for about 79 US dollars, and I picked up mine for 57 USD. That's basically a 28% discount off of
the normal used price, and that one is brand new. The knowledge threshold for fixing a faulty CPU with bent pins and missing pins is actually relatively low. A lot of people can do it. It just takes some time and patience, but it'll save you a lot of money in the long run. Definitely worth a shot. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.